Goodness comes and evil goes. Kimungo.
Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject. That subject is envisage the results of spiritual focus and bring it into being. Spirit is the raw substance that is of abundance in African life, and spirituality is the process by which that raw substance can be harnessed and directed for purpose, for life's expression. And of course, an obvious question to ask is, do we have a focus for our spirit engagement and the results that we want to see? For some, it may just be a tertiary effort to get something quick, rather like taking a fast food approach to spiritual engagement. A quick fix, feel good now, but without long-term plan, strategy, fulfillment, and rightful nutrition. If we were to compare it then not to fast food, but then to the slow cooked meal that brings African souls together, that is prepared, planned, and is energized with creativity to ensure that a wholesome meal is produced full of nutrition and with due care and attention placed on the selection of food choices or food combinations that are available. Do we have an outcome envisioned in our mind for what our spiritual focus ought to be on in order to bring desired results into being? And this is one of the wonderful things that Aswak, or African spirituality by way of Kwanzaa, brings to the fore, because it highlights the various levels of the self as the focal points or focal areas for spiritual energy to be directed in order to bring each level of the self into fullest and optimal beingness. So the levels of the self being the person for either masculine African manhood or feminine African womanhood. The self of the African harmonious and complementary male-female union. The self of the African family, the self of the African community, the self of the African nation, and the self of the African world community. Each has spiritual focus. These are areas where spiritual engagement directs those areas coming into fullest being. And this is a challenge that only the African can do for self. So with that food for thought, and surely it is food for thought, Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
is gift from above.